Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Steletsy here with a new Civ to show you today. So instead of looking at Age of the World Civs, we're going to be looking at the Just Poland Polish Civilization mod that does exactly just that. It adds the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth to the game as a new Civ. What technically the Definitive Edition developers were supposed to do as part of a DLC, but making a Polish Civ is just too difficult with Microsoft's money, right? So here we are. But anyways, this Civ is beautiful. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's quite good. So the plan here is going to be to just go over the cards with you, go over the Civ itself with some gameplay, like we have done with all the Age of the World Civs. So this should be quite fun, right? Alright, so here we go. Let's look at the cards right away. So we'll start with Age 1 and move all the way down to Age 4. This Civ has a lot of cards that do a lot of things, so this is actually going to be a really good thing to show you. Alright, so here we are on Age 1. Let's go through everything one by one. You got your Infinite 2 Settlers card. This is a pretty standard card. Basically, you can send it multiple times. You got your bigger 3 Settler card that you can send once. You got your standard infinite resource crate cards. Same as your 7 sheep and homestead wagon one. Pretty good, right? You got Master Surgeons, pre-standard card. Wodge Tech. Ships a powerful barrel hero, which becomes more powerful at the following ages. So, yeah, basically it's a secondary hero you can ship in. And it becomes stronger and stronger as you age up, making it a pretty ferocious beast. You also have hot air balloons, you got native lore, advanced trading posts, pioneers, advanced market, advanced estate, advanced dock, and yes, you do see a lot more new cards as you get into the later ages, but there are some here too, like ranching. You can now train cows from folwarks. Not really a super new effect, but it does at least have a visually new icon to it. And Folwarks is a new unique building, by the way, for the Polish, which for you Age of Empires 2 players should already be somewhat familiar with. You got Fish Market, Schooners, Sawmills, Exotic Hardwoods, Distributivism Wood Trickle, Team Food Silos, Stockyards, Furrier, Rum Distillery, Stone Masons, Land Grab, Economic Theory, and Hanseatic League. When this shipment arrives, all your current food is exchanged for an equal amount of coin. Pretty good, you know. If you have a lot of floating food and you need gold fast for mercenaries or outlaws, it can definitely help you out. Team Coastal Defenses, and this. Do not worry, this is just a visual bug. So notice if I click right here, it does add it to Age 4. So, yep. Now you know that they have the 25 bourbon allies ahead of time before we even get to Age 4. So, yep, good. Imagine if it was an Age 1. That would be a pretty serious bug, but no. Thankfully, it's just a UI bug right here. It does go into Age 4 properly, so don't worry about that too much. Alright, so now we are in Age 2. And now, here's where the real fun begins. So, you got your 4 settlers right here. You got all your resource crates right, 600 food, 700 food, 600 wood, 700 wood, 600 coin, 700 coin. Team 5 cows. You got your 7 cows here. Team 2 surgeons. Now this is a new card, right? Magnates. Improves your Polish explorer and your hetmans in combat. Explorers and hetmans trickle a small amount of gold. Very nice. So, Hetmans is sort of Poland's version of the daimyos, if that makes any sense. They sort of have their own unique properties, which makes them a little bit different than daimyos, but the same idea, right? Militarily, we got our first new unit here, the Piechors. The Piechors are a weak but cheap skirmisher and counter-skirmisher. Go against ranged infantry and all types of infantry. So they can counter skirmishers, they can counter muskets, and they can counter dragoons. You also have the Scytheman here. Partisan with low hit points and equipped with the Scythe, which deals splash damage. Basically the same Scytheman unit we see in Wars of Liberty for the Balkan civs. Basically does a lot of good splash damage. You got hand infantry attack specifically for the Scythemen, in fact. Then you got scout Uhlans. Fast lancer with a good line of sight. Good against infantry and artillery. So this is basically the Polish cavalry unit, just so you know. You got hand cavalry attack right here. You got team cavalry hit points for all cavalry. And then you have ranged cavalry combat. So ranged cavalry and hand cavalry gets their own combat cards in Age 2. Basically because you actually do have two different ranged cavs in your roster. You got the Lipka Tatars, and then you have the gunpowder-based dragoon, as you'll see, called the Companions, right? Here's our first hetman here, Stanislaw Zilewski, a powerful hetman who can receive shipments and train Age 2 units. So he can make your pikers and your scythemen for the most part. You can also probably make your scout Uhlans as well. And then we move on to another card here, Permanent Defense. Outposts have more hit points, and you can call out eastern and southern border defense units a second time. So yeah, basically it's a special emergency option that the Polish get. Vasa leather cannons. Ships 2 leather cannons and enables them to be trained in limited numbers at the artillery foundry. So, yep, does give you an option to make the Swedish leather cannons for a bit of artillery support and a bit more anti-infantry that the pikers can deal with effectively. You got frontier defenses. You got your advanced arsenal, of course. You also have your extensive fortifications. Mass mobilization. This card replaces both fencing school and riding school for the Civ. The way it works is improves cavalry training time and slightly improves infantry training time. So it doesn't really do a lot for infantry, but it does the full effect for the cavalry for the most part. But don't worry, there is a card later that can also contribute to infantry training rate as well. So the Civ is not that worse off as you might think it is. But you do get engineering school as well, which is always a nice include. Treaties of Tilsit, this is all your royal decrees. 6 spies, agents, rendering plant, silversmith, sustainable agriculture, spice trade, medicine, cigar roller, infinite 1 caravel, 2 caravel, 1 galleon, improve warships, admiralty, recruit privateers. As far as special units is concerned, you got registered Cossacks. Delivers 9 Cossack daredevils and enables Cossack daredevils to be trained at taverns, outposts, and royal stables, one of your unique buildings. Also, you have a shipment of vasa allies, so there are arquebusiers. Also, you got jaglieron shock riders as well. Now, this is interesting. You actually get an Age 2 option to get the Bourbon intervention. As you know with the French, they get this in Age 1. All it does, of course, is just gives you a native embassy, and then you can access the House of Bourbon units and some of their techs. So, yep, this is quite good. Helps you out pretty well as the Polish to have just a few extra elite units to fight with, you know, Royal Muskets and Royal Dragoons, of course. So, gives you a bit more army variety, which is always nice. You'll note that there's a lot of civs in the Polish that you can use. Both standard units and also unique units, so that's quite useful, especially ones that you unlock in the home city. Now that we're in Age 3, you got your 1,000 food, 1,000 wood, 1,000 coin, big batches of sheep with the homestead wagon, except for this one, of course, covered wagon. As far as military, there's quite a few things in this age. 11 pikers. Basically, your anti-skirm unit that also acts like a skirmisher somewhat. Smoke and Lands Levy sends 1 piker for each existing house and 4 scythemen for each existing folwark and estate. Up to a maximum of 15 each. All infantry trains 15% faster. So basically, if you do have mass mobilization, right? In order for your infantry to really be substantially trained faster, you're going to have to combine Smoke and Lands Levy with this card here, the mass mobilization, to get the most maximum training rate that you can for your infantry, just so you know. Right, now we do have some good upgrade-ish cards here. You got the Royal Foot Guards. ships a regiment of musket armed foot guards from the homeland and enables them in forts. So this is a carbon copy of the card that the Dutch get, but instead of being called blue guards, they are foot guards. I believe, could get me wrong, I've never tried this card. It does give them a unique skin instead of just making them into the Dutch unit, but I would totally have to check that. Either way, it's really good if you want some basic musketeer units, since you really don't get anything like that in the Polish Civ by standards. So if you like musketeers, probably going to want this one, just like the case is with the Dutch. But yeah, no, we got some other good cards. Terror of the Borderlands. Increases Scout Ulan and Lusoroshki siege attack. Scout Ulans also deal more damage to villagers. So siege attack goes up by 50% on the Scout Ulan. For the Lusoroshki goes up by 30%. And the multipliers against villagers go up by 150%. That's pretty big. That's very big, actually. Also, there's a card here called Charge of the Ulans. Ships a number of Scout Ulans and increases their damage against infantry, about 0.5, making them really good at fighting skirms in particular. 5 Lipka Tatars, quick firing cav archers from Lithuania, basically the same as the House of jaglieron. And then you get this card, Step Raiders. Lipka Tatars range attack against them gains a bonus against heavy infantry, so not only will they be good against things that cav archers are normally good against, being heavy cavalry and artillery, but they'll be able to carry muskets somewhat too. Kind of like an Age of Empires 2 cav archer, surprise, surprise. But here's your second dragoon unit, the Companion. Powerful but expensive range cavalry, good against cav. And we already have an upgrade for him too. Interceptors. Companions and Pichers gain a bonus against range cavalry. About 0.25, it looks like for the Companion. And then for the Picher, it looks like it's a 1.25 multiplier, which is a lot bigger. Overall, it's pretty good if you're dealing with a lot of problems fighting dragoons. Like if you're trying to fight Lakota rifle riders, maybe Indian Howdas, or Carbine cavalry, it can be a great counter, right? So this is kind of similar to a card we see with the Germans. It's called the Hussar banner. Ships a winged hussar and his retinue. Ships different units each time in the following orders. So first it'll send a winged hussar with 5 Lipka Tatars. Then it'll send a winged hussar with 6 Scout Ulans. And then 1 winged hussar with 4 companions. And then it'll cycle back up to the top. Most important thing to know about this card, it will send you a winged hussar with every time. So that's guaranteed. The rest will vary between which part of the cycle you're on pretty much. So just pay attention to that, obviously. You do get cavalry combat for all your cav units. Now we got our second hetman here, John Tarnowski. A powerful hetman that can receive shipments and unlocks a fixed assortment of mercenaries at the tavern, which he himself can train as well. So it will unlock the Lanishe, it will unlock the Black Rider, it will also unlock the Pounder, so you can get a good mercenary anti-skirm, a good mercenary dragoon, and a good sort of melee mercenary that's good against cav. Pretty good selection, kind of like all the German-based ones, except you take the Jaegers out and replace it with the Pounder pretty much. Right. You do get 2 Falconets, which is a very strong option. Also, you do have Infinite Falconet if you're into that sort of thing. Advanced artillery, grenade launchers, foreign delegation. So this is like a card we usually see with European SIGs, except this one, in addition to giving a shipment of native units, will also cheapen the cost of native units going forward. The cheapening is about 10% pretty much. So yeah, kind of a very effective card for native builds. Then we got the Tabers. Ships 2 Tabers. War wagons able to transport units in fortified positions, and unlocks them at the artillery foundry, which is quite good. Also, we have advanced frontier defenses. We got a fort, 10 spies, your Royal Mint, Refridge, Textile Mill. Then you get this cool card here, the Tiff Barns. Folwarks, cows, and sheep trickle a small amount of gold. So if you are doing herdable economy, which Polish really recommends that you do, and it really pushes you towards that, with all the things like the stockyards, the ability to train cows and sheep, you can get a ton of gold out of that, which is really nice. And then you have a frigate there, 6 Harquebusiers. We got 9 Manchu, 10 Jaegers, mercenary loyalty. Then you got Swiss piking, Swiss pikards, Landeshay, German Black Rider, Armored Pistoleer, Giant Grenadier, Bosniaks. You do get an infinite option here for the Krabats. So if you like the Krabat outlaws quite a bit, you can ship them for only 500 gold. You can get up to 10 of them, which is pretty good. I mean, 10 Krabats for 500 gold? That's pretty solid, actually. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. And not only that, you get this other card here called Private Army. Outlaw type units cost less population and train faster. So if you like outlaws, you got some good outlaws to use, go with this. And it synergizes with this card because this means you'll be able to have more Krabats in your arsenal then, which is quite good. And then you get this card here called Magyar Infantry. Ships 5 Hajuks and 5 Pandurs. Counter skirmishers, especially Pichers, do more damage and have more range and line of sight. So it looks like the range goes up by 1 and +2 line of sight. And it looks like the damage goes up by about 15%. Yeah. Well, it actually looks like the Pichers probably get 2 range, because that's just for standard anti-skirmishers. It says extended bonuses for Pichers is set to active. So I would theoretically assume that their range will go up by like 2, maybe even 3 at most. Now we're in age 4. You got your food, wood, gold, advanced balloon, a 22 shipment of Pichers, a 24 shipment of Scythemen. Kozuskio Uprising. All your villagers turn into Scythemen, removes the wood cost of Scythemen in exchange for an additional food cost, improves Scythemen train time by 25%. So, for most of your infantry with the Polish, you can train them 30% faster between 2 cards, which is a bit slower. But for the Scythemen, you can train them 55% improved through all the cards that you get, so a little bit faster. So, the game really likes you to make Scythemen if you go with this. 13 Scout Ulans. You got your 9 Lipka Tatars, 5 Companions, 6 Winged Hussars, Infinite 4 Winged Hussars, Winged Pistoleers. Ships 5 Winged Pistoleers and enables them in the stable, the Royal Stable. Royal Pastures. Reduces food costs for all cavalry in the Royal Stables, especially elite cavalry like the Winged Hussar and the Winged Pistoleer, it looks like. Then you got King John III Sobieski. King John Sobieski, monarch of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, who can receive shipments and train cavalry units. Counts as a powerful headman. So far we had 3 hetman that we can use, right? But going back to a previous hetman, John Tarnowski, basically this man right here, there is a card that synergizes with him where it's called Tarnowski Tactics. It allows him to basically start to train horse artillery. And on top of that, all falconets that you currently possess will turn into horse artillery. And horse artillery will train 35% faster. So if you have gone with this particular Hetman General here, John Tarnowski, totally consider going with Tarnowski Tactics to synergize with them so you can actually put horse artillery on the front lines. Kind of similar to how the Japanese daimyos can obviously make flaming arrows, right? Tokugawa rings a bell. Yep, so now we just have Infinite 2 Falconets, Infinite 2 Mortars, 3 Mortars, 2 Heavy Cannon, 2 Horse Artillery, 3 Horse Artillery, Blood Brothers, Improved Buildings, Heavy Fortifications. This card will give you 3 Battery Towers, which can be pretty good. Castramentation, Factory, kind of similar to the Maltese. Instead, again, a second factory, you get sort of a food-based card. Europe's Granary. Grants a steady trickle of food. Villagers gather food faster from folwarks and herdables. 100% faster from herdables, 25% better from folwarks. So, if you're doing a combined economy of both farming and herdables, this can be quite good for you. Probably recommend it anyways because of the farming and the trickle improvement. Got monitor, team gunboat diplomacy. And then you got privateer port. Ships 3 privateers and allows you to train them at the dock. You got your infinite battleship shipment, your Holy Roman Army, Fusiliers, little bombards. And then you get this cool native unit, the Lithuanian, a bloodthirsty raider especially good at sieging buildings and destroying villages with a special fear aura. And you do get an infinite shipment option that's a bit smaller, but again, it's an infinite shipment, so you can keep sending it pretty much, right? Again, we have our 25 bourbon allies, so you can either click it through here, or you can click it through here, apparently. So, yeah, we'll just kind of just leave that as it is. But then you get this card at the end, Teutonic Knights. A Knight of Malta armed with a great sword. Absorbs some of the damage inflicted to nearby allies, faster near buildings. Ooh, so it gives them a unique upgrade, the Teutonic Knights upgrade. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, indeed. So, I was playing a deck earlier, and I think this one should be pretty appropriate for our purposes. Yeah, we can just do that for now, I guess. Basically, we're just going to do a basic skirmish against an easy AI, I think. Like, we could go to Dakan, right? Yeah, no. When I initially played this one, if you saw my original video, it seemed like the Polish Civ was a little bit slow. So if we do run into problems, I'm just like putting a monster truck up and we're going to punish the AI and hold them back for a bit. So we can do our talking, alright? Sounds like a plan, man? Alright, let's give it a go and see how we do. Yeah, hopefully we don't run into problems, because this mod did get a patch in the past month or so. So theoretically they should be more competent, but that's obviously not guaranteed. It's wishful thinking, but we'll find out sure enough. So right away we're gonna pick up our food treasure here. We do start the game with the free scout Ulan as well to support the hero, which is awesome. So yeah, let's just walk around and see what we can find. Note that they also get multipliers against infantry and multipliers against artillery. So while they don't do a ton of damage, they do have that specialized multipliers to really hurt specific things that they're specialized in. Now let's go down to here now. Go for this area here. I like going to Dakan and Carolina all the time because it gives me a ton of starting crates that I can use and thus be able to start up my stuff right away, which is pretty good. And you get a Mercado right here, should be nice. Alright, we're gonna get this gold treasure now, should be pretty good towards our economy. Then we can go for this little tiger here. Tony the Tiger is gonna go bye-bye. Trying to back up. And yes, the Explorer does have a unique Polish texture to him, so he's not just a bland Explorer, which is great. We're going to get our hunting dogs now. So I don't think we're going to go agriculture right away. We're just going to play pretty good here. We're going to get 3 villagers right away. Play it standard for now, and then we can go with something else later if need be. Yeah. Definitely want to get my military up right away, because when I tried to go greedy with the folwark in the past, I just wasn't able to really defend against these bots, so I want to play it safe, you know? I want to play it safe, absolutely. Let's go for the lion now. Grab the 40 wood. We can use our scout Ulan to meat shield a bit and keep our explorer safe. Maybe we can get another treasure very quickly as a result.
Claims all trade
or Vills here, right? Yep. Just checking. Yeah, let's go for the wood treasure now. Let's see. Can you grab that animal up? I think we got age up now, though, because notice how slow we are with an age up with this Civ. Well, actually, the AI, the Aztec AI is known for a really speedy age up, so we do need to be somewhat careful with that, basically. I think going to Logistician is probably going to be the smart place, since we don't have really the politician that I want there, honestly. We'll just have to turtle a bit, I think, and maybe make some Minutemen if we need it. We also have this winged hussar, this scout on here to defend as well, which is great. Yep, let's get the little monkey over there and grab his wood. 25 wood to be exact. Also, we should be picking up... Let me see here. I'm trying to find what to get next. Let's pick up placer mines now. You know, it's about time we get that early. Since we have so much floating stuff anyways, there's no reason not to get it, probably. So far, everything's looking kind of decent. It just depends on how aggressive the AI is. If the AI aggro... Yeah, he's already aggroing me. See, this is what I said. We might have to be very, very careful with how this AI behaves. Because these AIs, as you know, are super duper aggressive on average. Yeah, no, they're very aggressive. Especially the Aztec one. Yeah, no, if he runs... Yep, we're just going to make some Minutemen and, like, knock him off a bit. I think it's totally fine. Let's get rid of the spearmen. The spearmen are the biggest priority, and we can also put away some stuff here. Hey, hey, get that spearman. Up, let's... Ah, man. Really? Okay, let's get a royal stable here, and we'll put up a barracks in this spot, just so you can see what they look like. We're gonna ship in our headman first, so we have a strong unit here to defend with, and then we can make some other stuff after that. Let's get our house up here. So yep, let's see what we got access to. We got our Scout Gulan. Nope, when he does go to H2, his stats do improve. So he goes up to 15 hand attack, and then he gets 190 HP. So basically a Yuan that's really specialized against infantry and artillery, pretty much. Yeah. I honestly wish they'd have a little bit more damage, though. Just saying, just so it feels like they were a little bit more unique from, you know, their usual stuff. So yeah. We'll make Pichers right now, and we should probably get our gang saw as well, because Pichers are going to be sort of our backbone range unit for this, so we'll want to especially make sure we have those at our disposal. We do have a few of the Scout Gulons as well, though. Let's bring in our Picher shipment, just so we can have some defense. Should be quite good. Yep. I feel like now that I'm sort of playing them a bit more standard-like instead of trying to be fancy schmancy with the folwark right up front, I think it's going a little bit better, honestly, which is great. Okay, so these are the Pichers. So they get 2x against heavy infantry, 2x against light infantry, and 3.5x against dragoons. So they really counter a wide variety of units. Especially range units like muskets, skirmishers, dragoons, they counter all that stuff. So they are very flexible. They're very flexible for all your military uses, pretty much. So definitely consider getting them. We are going to pick up our steel traps right now. And we're also going to get another house right here. Yep. Let's get the Pichers in this spot. Yeah, leave my villager alone, sir. Very nice. Okay. So far, we're holding on pretty good. We are now going to probably get another Scout Gulan. One thing I'll say about these Scout Gulons is they're a lot cheaper than the Yuans of Germany, because the Yuans of Germany would cost, as you know, they would cost a ton of gold, like 100 gold, so... It's quite good that they're that cheap. Gives us a lot of ability to make them good. Let's get our Hetman on top of him. Yep, we'll just hunt this guy down, take out as many slingers as possible, so he'll stop bothering me as much. That would be really opportune. And then we can actually just make the units right from him, right? Yeah, no. Should be quite good. He heals up, right? Yep, there he goes. He heals. Some more Pichers. And then we can queue up some Pichers here as well. And then we're going to pick up another Casa and probably ship in the 5 Scout Gulons next, just so we have some more troops ready. We could also send the lever cannons now too, which might be a strategic idea. We'll send the Ulans in. We'll send the scout Ulans in probably. Just so we have a bit more handicap to round out the ranged infantry. Yeah. So far we're holding the line pretty good. Yeah. Most definitely. Back up, back up. Yeah, try to keep the lancers away from the spearmen though. I'm being a bit slow and lazy right now, but if this is like a real competitive battle, you'd probably need to be a bit more cautious of your micro there. Otherwise, you'd run into some serious problems. Serious problems. So yeah, you gotta be on top of that stuff. I think now, because I remember when I first played this Polisiv, I don't think they actually had the multipliers against the heavy infantry baked into them at all. They just had the light infantry ones and the dragoon ones. So they really were not that good. They just weren't like doing what they were supposed to do. But now that they really do have both multipliers in place, they actually feel like they can hold the ground just fine, you know? It's definitely. So that's good. It actually feels like they're doing their job, which is really good. And they're serving the purpose they're supposed to, because remember, look at this building. They don't get musketeers, right? They get a halberdier, they get a pikeman with splash attack, and then they get sort of like an everything type of anti-infantry and dragoon. So they do not get muskets unless, of course, you send the special musketeer card I showed you in the age 3 section of the home city. I'm not using that in my deck because that just doesn't really resonate with me and what I would do strategically. So I just don't include that in mine, but you could totally include if you feel like that would serve you better. Right, it's whatever the player really finds useful. Really, so yeah. That's always the most important thing, is play based on your playstyle and what you think's going to help you get the most wins done. Yeah. And then we'll ship in the Vasa leather cans now, and then we could even get the House of Bourbon in here too, and get some Royal Musketeers. I think that would be a good combination. Yeah, no, most definitely would. So yeah. So many coyotes here, I'm a little concerned, but we might be able to hold it off. We should probably get the bills out here as a precaution, though. Just saying. It's probably going to be alright, but you never know, right? Because these AIs are a little bit pesky and they can be persistent, so you have to be very careful with that sort of thing. Let's start cutting away these coyotes. Yeah, once we wipe these out, it should be easy to do. Oh, you lost all this stuff, yeah, no. So now that he's actually doing coyotes, we probably should start making some of these scythemen now and start adding them in and supplementing. We can also pick up our House of Bourbon right now, just so we can get some Royal Muskets in there. That would be a perfect synergy with all this stuff right now. Exactly what we want to have. I'll throw in another Yuan, you know? There's no reason not to get. So what's the cost to retrain? So it is a little bit pricey in coins, so I wouldn't get it right away if he dies. Only if you really need him. So yep, here's a few of those scythemen. So 20 hand attack with 1 splash and then 3x against cavalry. That's actually a really decent unit. I'm just telling you. I mean, yeah, it's obviously more expensive than the pikeman, but he gets a lot done with those types of stats. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty impressed with that. We're going to put our embassy up right here so we can start making some Royal Muskets and start fending this guy off. Now 2 batches of scythemen, like another scout Yulan once we get enough pop space for it. Yeah, we also can make those since those ones cost population. We didn't even send wood in, right? Because we've been so like stable here with everything that we just haven't had to. Okay, we're messing up on micro. We're not microing this correctly, unless it's going to look a bit choppy. It's fine though, because we got so much range stuff here that the Entons just fall very quickly on their face once they attack. So that part's been pretty good. Honestly, we're doing so much wood stuff that we probably should just get second wood upgrade, right? He's flanking me. He's trying to be 200 IQ, Mr. 200 IQ AI today, which I don't appreciate, but hey, he can try it. It's just not going to go very well. Alright, yeah, you just take that right now. Add in some more siphoning right here, probably. Okay, why? Oh yeah, because I was moving stuff around, right? Yeah, okay, that's fine. So far, so good. You might be wondering why there's no minute. Oh, we just sent the minute, but there's also another emergency thing we can send from the outpost as well. They'll, I believe, give us pichers, if I'm remembering correctly, or some other unit. Also, we'll add in some royal muskets now. This is your other way again, muskets, by the way. You can get the Dutch option of getting them from the fort, or you can just go with bourbon and get them this way. So, basically, Poland is a real flexible civ that gives you all sorts of realistic options to do stuff, should you want to. So, yeah, definitely be willing to mix and match things and see what works best for you as a player, because overall it'll work out pretty good. Alright, so basically this, if you do build an embassy, this will allow you to get access to some native stuff. So right here we can get the Union of Lublin. Actually no, it comes from the stable. So it unlocks the Wing Hussars and Lipka Tatars, but they'll cost population. So just be aware of that. If you don't want to make cap the cost population, don't be you know, thinking that that's gonna work, because it's not. Yeah, no. See, the AI will constantly harass you, so you gotta be very careful of that. I just lost a ton of vills there. 20. I still have 28 though, so it's not really that bad. It's just not the greatest situation. I would like to age up and just get some multiple town centers or something of that nature, just so we can, you know, maintain some decent eco. Yeah, now these AIs, as you know, are very, very persistent, and they love targeting your vills and just ignoring your army, so you gotta be very careful of that all the time. So yeah, just get some more of these. I think for right now we're solid, so we should be able to ignore that. Oh wow, look at all this we got. Very nice. We'll get some siphon here. Some more. Cow's almost up. Yeah, the AI loves to grab all the trade on this map, so that's why the AI is so, you know, so bloated at this point, is because it just brings in so much resources because of the TPs. Siphon there. Yeah, another one here. Another Scout Dulon, right? Yep. Yep, the AI is coming for another brawl. AI just can't get enough, right? Nah, most definitely not. Yeah, it loves to duke it out all the time, as you know. Going after the artillery as well. Sneaky bugger. Yep. Watch out for that. Yep. Always a tough one. Interesting. So he just ran his units around me to sort of waste time while the slingers took out my siphon. It's actually kind of fear invoking. Yeah, no. Get out of here. Get out. So I lost my. I'd say, yep. This is what I'm saying. Poland, at least the way I'm doing against this AI is just a little bit slow. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna. Wait a second. Let me get something. I think we do have to like put this up for a little bit so we can like train some stuff, deal with them. Yeah, we'll just leave this right here. Take care of that for now. And then I'll type in the code so we can bring in some resources since we clearly need it here. Yeah, we'll just age up. I don't think we need the speed always wins, but yeah. By the way, you do get a mercenary contract that will unlock Harquebusiers and Jaegers, so similar to the Brits. But yeah, we'll just get the fast age up right now. Just leave this monster truck up for a little bit until we can train some troops real fast. Just anything to stay alive right now, and then we can delete it or whatever. Alright, we're going to get that. We're going to build some pitchers. We're going to train multiple things here. And get our foundry up as well, since we got the resources. Also, I will show you what the world decrees look like right now. Again, that. I'm going to put the church right here so you can see it. Yep, so we'll make some scout ulans. Make as much of this stuff as possible. Most definitely. Get some more pitchers, get some of these, siphon in. Yep, we're just putting a cap on this AI until we're ready to fight. So just back off, get out of there. Alright. We should be okay right now, I would think. Alright. Yeah, I think we'll be alright for right now. Let's pick up some of these lever cans. How many of these can we make? So we can make up to 6 of them, which is pretty alright. Get veteran on these. Alright. What else do we want? We could get our second Hetman now, John Chorowski, and we can also train up back our old one as well, so we have him there. Definitely. Let's see what we got here for the troops. Oh man, this AI getting crazy, getting insane, insane in the membrane. Yeah, it's definitely. Good news is we're definitely stacking on though pretty well here with all this stuff. Yeah, no, it's looking quite good. Yeah, the AI is coming in pretty deep. Most definitely. So, all right, we did damage AI enough to get him out of there, so we should be good for right now. Just get a bit more of these. So, thinking of upgrades, we can get the Step Raiders to give our Lipka Tatars multipliers against the heavy infantry. So, if you're fighting a bunch of muskets, those will probably be your preferred Dragoon unit overall, but we can also show you what the companion looks like as well as the winged hussar stats-wise. Also, we haven't made these yet. These are the Dushiszniks. These are a Polish halberdier unit, so we'll make some of those too, and upgrade them with the veteran upgrade as well. So yeah, Poland gives you a lot of troops, different troops you can make. I'll also show you what the folwark looks like. This is the folwark right here. So basically it's a livestock pen and a mill put together with a huge farm area around it. So it's really nice. You also pick up basically, instead of upgrading individually, you'll have this tech here that you can upgrade both the Lipka Tatars and the winged hussars at the same time, which is quite good. Back up here. So far so good, we'll just fight through all this stuff, yep. Hunt, hunt, hunt. What would you like to see? And then we'll just train some more bills onto here. You can also build up another folwark as well. Very nice. You can have up to 8 of these, by the way. You can have up to 8 of them. And it's a building that combines the mill and the livestock pen together. So, yep, you can indeed train sheep here and research selective breeding, and then you'll actually be able to found them there too. You can also add in cows with ranching. Next, we're going to ship in another military card to help us to charge the ulans, so that our ulans will also have a bit more anti-infantry add-in, so they'll do 3x against infantry on top of their regular stats, which is quite nice. Also add in some Scythemen too here, and pick up veteran on the pitchers. Pick up more town centers as well, why not? Apparently our headman cannot be selected by the Explorer hotkey, so we'll have to do it manually. Right, so he can make, Jan can make Ponders, he can make Black Rise, he can make Lanishes. And then Stanansko Zeletsky can make Scythemen, Delechniks, Pichers, Scout Ulons, and also the Lipka Tatar. So a pretty good variety of stuff. Let's make some of these companions so you know what they look like statistically. They're actually a 3-pop Dragoon, which is pretty significant, but we'll see why they cost 3 pop exactly in a few moments. Also, we do have the Royal Decrees as well. So the Royal Decrees are this. Riders of the Apocalypse. The infamous warband takes up arms. Sips 5 Lushalushki and turns all your Dragoons and Cav Archers from Eastern Europe into Lushalushki. Bloodthirsty raiders, especially good at sieging buildings and killing villagers with a special fear aura. So yeah, that's basically what that is. So yep, we're gonna make some companions now. So you know what they look like statistically. And note that you also have access to all the Vasa and jaglieron cavalry related upgrades here too. So these are the companions. So they start out with about 30 range attack and about 420 HP, so it's a pretty good unit to say the least. Accomplishes quite a bit. So yeah, ton of Skull Knights here, but we're handling it like a champ, which is quite nice. Alright, can add some more of these in too. Add some more Lipkas in. We're probably going to pick up Sarmatism to get some more range on the Lipkas right now. Liberty, this makes everything cheaper. So if you pick up your arsenal, you can upgrade the Pichers this way as well to give them more multipliers against heavy infantry. You can also research, let me see here, what would be good to get. Pick up a house right here. Very nice. Some more stuff to the Lipka Tatars. Yunans here. Artillery. So I want to show you next the Tabers shipment. This is another unit you can access through the home city. It will be quite useful to you. If you have played Napoleonic era and you remember the Polish there, the Tabers were a pretty infamous unit. Basically a war wagon with different textures that used to be able to train infantry and garrison them inside of it, as well as being able to go into different modes that gave it different statistical advantages. So that's what we're going to see right now. Just gotta fight through these right there. I'll make some winged hussars now so you can see what they look like. Panzerny adds more range armor on the cavalry, and then of course this will ship a number of winged hussars, improve their charge ability, enable them to strike with a greater distance and inflict more area damage with it. So making them even better. So the toppers are just actual Hussite wagons. Yeah, they're Hussite wagons. So yep, quite powerful. They got great pierce armor, and they also have both hand and crush armor too. In range, they have like 600 HP, and then when they go into bombard, like this, they do 55 crush with 1 splash, right? And you can actually garrison your units inside of them. You can, how many can you fill it up with? You can fill it with up to 15 troops. 15 troops. Which is a pretty decent number, actually. Trying to think what else we want to ship in. I would like to get the Magyar infantry here, just to show the effect it has on the Picher's range. Get that. Let's eat up these sheep right now, by the way, and see what we can get. And what politicians do we get? We get 10 foot guards, muskets, 7 Ulans, fort wagon, chest of coin, falconets, just like that. So far so good on the food economy. Let's see what else we can get though. I'm presuming they can go up to 18 range. Yep, they go up to 18 range as expected, and now we add in counter infantry rifling, and they'll just become a much better unit, I would say. Yeah. We should be able to push on their position now, I would say. Let's do that. We can also pick up our lost hetman as well. Not bad. We're doing a pretty good job here. Yep. Pulling them off. We should also probably pick up our cavalry Kakarul as well for the Lipkas, so we can do a bit better. Very nice. Let's go down here. And the tabards cost that much. Okay. We'll make another one. You gotta build them at 3, so we can't just make tons of them. It's a bit of control on that. We'll just age up here and go with the foot guards, just so you see what they look like. Yep. The other world decrees we get are this. Dorbrowski's Legion gives you 8 foot guards, so a little detachment of muskets pretty much. Also picked up, we'll pick up, let me see. Get some falconets, right? Yeah, I know. And we can pick up some winged hussars here too, right? Yep, most definitely. So far so good. Let's push in deep. Let's get this one right, or the apocalypse. Companions, once you get ranged cavalry cockerel, go up to like 36 damage, so they stack pretty quickly as you add more combat cards in. That's what makes them pretty good. So I would say statistically, the companions statistically are going to be similar to the Mounties for the Canadians and Wars of Liberty in terms of range, output, and HP, just so you know all the facts about that. Still fighting for this AI, yeah. Alright, let's move on to here. Yep, it's definitely. Let's get some pikeshores. Siege down the noble hut. These are the Liberships, so they have 28 damage, they have multipliers against looks to be heavy cavalry and artillery, and then they get multipliers against vills, and their siege is about 35 without any upgrades, so not bad actually, not bad at all. Pretty good unit, I would say. We're going to pick up the winged pistoleers now, which is another unit we can access. Right there. Let's go for that right now. These are the foot guards, by the way. So the foot guards, if you look closely, they're kind of similar to the Danube Legion from Wars of Liberty knows. Yeah, you remember the Danube Legion from Wars of Liberty for these Polish immigrants? The nice big giant hat that's very flat, like a Ulan's hat like this. Nope, they use these as well. So they do indeed have their own model compared to other muskets, which is a nice touch. Then we can also send King John Sebastian. And more winged hussars, right? Yep. And this is the last. We can get a second legion as well, called the Vistula Legion. Ships a regiment of musket armed foot guards. Foot guards can be trained at forts and barracks. So it kind of negates the need for that card, actually. It kind of does. And then you get this one here. Sigim. All texts except Home City cards and age advancements are cheaper, but take longer to research. So, yep, we'll just get that, and then our text will become super duper cheap, but then they'll take longer to research. Yeah. So these are the armored, these are the winged pistoleers. So they're basically winged hussars that have guns. Gun-toting pistoleers. So instead of having like the charge lance ability, they just use a gun. Yeah. So what do they look like statistically? So they have no multipliers and they have a malice against heavy infantry. So they're really supposed to be like range anti-infantry. The R form of heavy cavalry. So they're basically like the Joshin Potion of War's Liberty, yeah. So they're basically just winged hussars, but they have a charged pistol attack. Oh, so yeah, no, they're just regular winged hussars with a charged pistol attack. Is that so? It looks like that's the case, yeah, no. I would hope that they get upgraded alongside the regular winged hussars, because if they don't, I would be a little bit concerned about investing in them. Yeah, no, it's a cool concept, basically. Yeah, no, I was going to assume that they were going to be like some sort of like dragoon, but yeah, no, they're just winged hussars that use guns instead of having a special lance attack, which is quite good. Most definitely. Also, what's the Pieter's default multiplier against dragoons? We can look at. So it looks like it's about 3.5 against dragoons, and if you send the maneuvering card, as it's called, what's the card called? It's called interceptors. It would go up to 4.75 against dragoons, which is pretty good, actually. Yeah. A lot of good stuff going on with this Civ. I mean, yeah, no, I think they're pretty solid. They're much stronger than they used to be, because I used to have like some real problems playing the AI. At least now it seems like they're a little bit more efficient. You know, before they were really lacklustering, but now at least they can hold their ground for a bit. And I bet if I like studied them even further, I could do even better with them technically. So, yeah, most definitely. And there we are at the end of our presentation, I think. Was pretty cool. It was pretty fun, actually. So hopefully you check this mod out and support its developers. It's called the Just Poland Polish Civilization mod, and then there's the Commonwealth submod too, that will add the flag. So you see the Polish Commonwealth flag there, right? And they'll also allow some of the units in the Polish roster to actually speak the Lithuanian voice line instead of just Polish. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff, huh? Alright, so sign off now. See you next time with whatever civ or map or native that I end up covering.